moves, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top number here to you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. He wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And it's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. We've got a one-loss side match tonight. Well, we've actually got two matches tonight on the schedule, but the one I'm covering starts in about 5-6 minutes' time. It's a one-loss side, race to 150 between Larry representing the USA and Rabih representing Lebanon. Both are here. Larry's gone into a room, I think, for some practice. I think Rabih was doing something similar earlier on, and he's still there as well. Larry will be the strong favourite to go through. The other match tonight is coming up in about 3 hours' time. I think it's 11:30 British summer time, my time, and that would be like 6:30 Eastern, and that's between Real Poland Power Stubb, an all-USA match against Interchange X, and that match is going to be covered by One Pocket Slim on his Twitch channel. That's easy to find. You just go to Twitch, and in the search window at the top, you type in One Pocket Slim, you'll find his channel, no problem. And he will be covering that match later on. As much as I would love to do it, I would be semi-conscious. It's too late for me, even though I don't have any work tomorrow, so it's good that Slim's around to get that one. So the chat should be working if anybody wants to say something to actually test the damn thing, because the Botrix bot has successfully joined the channel, so the chat should be operational and it should be coming up on the screen, he says confidently. In fact, if nobody's going to say anything, I'm going to test it myself and see what happens. There we go. That'll do. Oh, welcome to Slim. Right, so what's Rabih's best chance tonight? Well, I think Rabih's best chance is that he should know that Larry's just going to go for everything. And with that in mind, what Rabih needs to do is that when Larry does make a mistake, that Rabih scores and then ducks for cover. I mean, he's got to try and keep it tight. As much as he's going to have to try and score and put something on the board, he's probably not going to be consistent enough to make that big an impact in terms of the score on each visit. I'm only going by what I think. I think Larry potentially would be the heavier scorer, but Larry, as we've seen, is prone to giving you opportunities. It's up to you as to whether you're going to be good enough to take advantage of them. Rabih's best bet's to try and stay in the match and not get Larry, or not let Larry get too far away or too far ahead. And in a race to 150, you know, you don't want to be chasing down a big run first visit from your opponent. So he's got to just try and hang in there and cut out the numpty stuff. And as I keep saying, think before you move. Know where you're going before you start doing daft stuff. And for anyone who didn't see the match last night, talking about daft stuff, well, we had a crazy last half hour in that winner's side match with Matt and Spectre Dawn. It was very hard to predict what was happening, bearing in mind the certain mistakes that started happening towards the end of the match, and it turned on its head eventually. So if you haven't saw that, go and have a look at it. The last half hour is probably all you need to see the crazy things that were going on. But that's what happens when you get under pressure, when you start feeling the pinch. And it was, let's just say it was a close one. If you haven't seen it, we won't spoil it for you. So this match is due to go in about 3 minutes' time. Don't know whether Steve's going to be bothered joining. It doesn't look like it. So in that case, I'll shut down Discord as soon as I get the opportunity to do that. I think there is another match on the schedule. Where is it? There we go. We've got Soft Break and Bankster, is it? That's due to go at 4, I think it's 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon, my time. But as I said, we've got the 2 matches today or tonight, Larry and Rabih on my channel. And then we've got Real Poland Power Stub and Interchange X, and that will be live on Slim's Twitch channel later on. And that's 11:30 British summertime, 6:30 Eastern, because we're now all back on par as far as the time zone differences go. Our clocks went forward early hours of Sunday morning, and so we're all good to go. Right, so tournament tab, and we'll get all set. I notice Matt's in the lobby. I don't know whether he's actually there, but his name's there. Larry's still in getting practice. Rabih's had enough. He's raring to go. Right, we should be about. It should be due to kick in.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, that didn't work. Let's test that again.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Right, that one's working.
Trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Right, the room's up. I'm going to do one quick tab to have a quick look. Right, we will shut that down. And we'll shut that down as well. Right, so Rabih's in the room and Larry's arrived. Now, again, I'm assuming that Larry is on the right-hand side for the lag. And it looks as if that Rabih's going to win this. I don't think Larry's got the legs. So Rabih is going to put Larry in to break off. Now, I wonder if Larry's going to try and spin this. He's going to try and spin this into the back of the pack. Loads of left English. Yeah. But, yeah, of course, he's now a foul where he hasn't got enough balls to a rail, but he's left a ball on. So I'd assume that Rabih's not going to re-rack or anything like that. He's just going to get in straight away. So Larry loses 2 points. Now, I don't know why he put right English on that, because he obviously spun into the short rail. I'll just a roll through it. I'll give him a couple of shots. Those two balls at the back of the pack, I think the obvious one would be, you know, pot the one and keep the cue ball out into the table, go on that two ball and do some damage from there. It's a fairly obvious shot. And he's got himself two straight. He needed to be square, at least square. And that's no good. So that's one very good opportunity straight away that's gone a begging. And again, he's gone two straight. Now the other, well, this is sort of last chance saloon, and he's almost two straight again on this four ball. He's had three goes at it. He might get something, but who's to say what he's going to get? Well, he's got a ball. He's got a ball. And looking further up the table, we've got the bailout ball down here. He's working in a tight space here, but he's certainly going to have to get rid of that three. And now, again, he's nailed himself to the five ball. Okay, he's got a ball there to get him out of jail. I'm just looking to see where the break ball is. There's one right at the head of the pack, though, and there's one right at the back of the pack. He could use the six ball to get onto that one at the back if it came to it. So Larry's got rid of the negative 2 points that he made on that break-off shot. Well, I would have thought that he would have wanted to play that 11 and get rid of the 7 so he could concentrate on how he's going to do this break shot. Well, the way he's going to do it now looks like he's going to be taking 7, what looks like the 11. It's actually the 13 again. Get that ball and then use that as a break ball at the back of the pack, the 11 ball at the back. So he's in good enough shape to do that. Well, once again, he wants to keep this cue ball well away from the rail once he plays this 14 ball. And he needs to pretty much leave that cue ball where the 14 is or go forward and come back, whatever way he's going to do it. Cue ball spinning loose. It's coming free though. Down into open country. And he's brought a good half a dozen balls into play. Now, once again, that's the blocking ball, that 12 ball. It blocks the path for the 14, which could be used as a break ball in terms of opening these up. He's got to get these next couple of shots right so that he can try and progress this rack, because it's vital that he does. Unless he's looking at something in the rack. See, again, getting rid of that 12 allows you to get to the 7. So, you know, this is where the issue lies. Whether he's trying to sneak in and get rid of that 7. He can go. I don't know whether he's going to go at the rail and try and run into these now, but he wants to get good on this 4 if he can. He's not got there. He's not high enough. I'd like to have been probably, I don't know. I mean, he can go to the long rail and come across, but I mean, this could turn ugly very quickly. And that was always going to be the issue, clearing this area here. Well, he's went for a hit. He's got a shot. Now, he could be really crazy and cut that 2 ball. Now, the thing is, if he doesn't, and all he's going to play is this ball, then the only other ball that's really on and accessible is a 12. And I don't know whether he can get anything out of this 12 ball to actually catch something, whether he can catch the 2 at the back of the pack. But again, I don't know whether it'll do him much good. Right, he's caught the 2 and he's dead. That was a problem. He is well and truly dead in the water. The run is 22. And no shot on. Unless he tries a fancy combo into the side with a 14 ball. That looks as if what's caught his eye. And like I said, this is the type of thing that Larry's, you know, as soon as Larry's got a sniff at anything like this, he's going to go for it. That's why I said Rabih has to be on his toes, that when Larry does something like this and has a go at something that's awkward, that Rabih tries to capitalise on it. So Rabih's first challenge here is reducing this deficit and staying with him. I don't know whether Larry got away with that, has he? No, he left the 15 on. Now, I'm sure he can get rid of that 14. He could actually cheat the pocket with the 2 ball as well, but I think I'd prefer getting rid of the 14 first. Especially with the line that the 2 ball is. The cue ball just wants to go at that shot, really not do much more. Well, he's looking at the 2 instead. He's going to have to hit this to get this cue ball out of there. Oh, well, unless he plays that and bumps the 14, because the cue ball, as I said, wasn't going to do much. And then looking at where the rack is, I mean, these 2 balls, they are dead. They are no use. He could leave that ball over the corner pocket and go for a 2-railer into the pack. But again, the cue ball then is running quite a bit. And he's bumped that 3 ball a bit too hard. 3 balls there. It could be a break ball, but look at how far the cue ball's got to travel. I think I would try potting the 3 and coming down and using this ball here to try and run the cue ball into the rack, but neither of them are great considering there's only 2 left in the table, and either one you play, the cue ball's got a mile to travel to get anywhere. And now he's dead in the water also. And he's got to watch how thin he hits this ball, because he's going to knock the other ball out the other side, and that's always going to happen. He hit it far too thick. And he's brought the 10 ball into play. Now, Larry can check this cue ball up with a good bit of left English here, just to kill it, and also to bring it back in line for that 3 ball. It's a bit fiddly. Yeah, that'll do. And again, as I felt before this match started, this could be just the story of the night. Rabih's just not, he's not scoring enough with these opportunities he's had already. And Larry's had a good enough break shot there to open up everything. You know, he clears that ball, clears the 2 ball. You know, these are blockers. He doesn't really have to do much else other than just clear the right balls in the right order. You do that, you'll be sitting good. And look at it. A break ball, there's not really anything that's ideal, although he's nudged the 14 into play. And this is where you do have to just take a second, just to, so again, I keep saying, it's the most obvious thing. You have to know where you're going before you start moving. You know, and this is what a lot of players do not do. In any game they play, you've just got to know where you're going. Once you're clear in your head where you're going, it's the game. The game falls into place, so to speak. Especially if you can move the cue ball, if you've got a semblance of control over the cue ball, because that's really what it's all about. You know, getting that cue ball to go where you want it to go. But do not move until you know where you're moving to. And that's what Larry's doing. He's just making sure he knows where he's going next before he commits. Well, this is obviously going to go around 2-3 rails here. He's got a bump there, but I don't think he's done any damage. So now that he potted that potential break ball, we've got the 6 ball sitting there, probably in as good a position as anything. So I would assume that he wants to avoid that 6 ball for the time being and go with that. He's got 3 balls, well, 4 balls if you count is that the 5 ball in the middle of the table? He's got all of these, and no sooner do I say it than he's bumped the bloody break ball. That 13 ball's dead, so that's a cardinal sin there he's just committed. And now it's on to plan B already. I'm assuming that was intended to be left there, and he's run the cue ball straight into it. Now we've got to look at what the other potential break balls would be. I mean, you've got a 1 ball and a 4 ball going into the side pocket that you could use to get into the rack that way. But he's going to have to come up with something. Welcome to Dale. Good evening. I don't know what he's going to do here. Is this 3 ball, 13 ball? No, it's still sitting in the corner of the rack, so it's no good. The assumption now is that it's either going to be the 1 ball, which is a bit high, but you can obviously cut it and spin into the rack that way. You could use the 1 ball or the 13 ball to get to this back ball and, leave an angle to pot that and bang into the back of the rack. But had he avoided that 6-ball, this would have been a lot more straightforward. Now it's just so a bit of a lottery if he can get the right shape on this ball that's up near the short rail at the top. It needs to have that high enough angle. No, he's gone too far slightly. He's going to have to go forward and back across. Make sure he doesn't block himself off with the corner of the rack here, unless he's going to play it from the short side. And that's the problem. He didn't roll far enough. He's finished in the rack, so now he's got ball in hand. And all he's got is a safety. And he's missed the 4-ball, but then again, it's probably better doing that and taking a hit and leaving the cue ball there, because that's actually a very good safety. So Larry loses that point for not hitting the ball. And now we're going to get a wee bit of tapping. And already we've got a couple of balls into play. And Rabih's, he can play the bank on this ball and just, he can, lock the ball onto the stack. He can play the cut, but he's got to get the cue ball high up into the table to get on that 12. Now, the safer shot is just to bunt that 14 and lock the cue ball up. And now he's got himself in trouble. Quick look at this rack of balls. It's a circle of balls at the moment. That's a big shot already. And again, probably not going to have a lot to go at, even if he does pot it. He did his best to try and kill the pace, but he's hung it up. Larry, I thought Larry there was yeah, that's no good. I thought he was contemplating maybe drawing the ball, but the problem with drawing the ball is the 4-ball was right in the way to try and break the pack. Now, is he going for the bank? Yes, he is. So he might be playing the draw into the rack here. Again, this is attacking. He's playing the bank, but trying to draw into the rack, and he's missed the rack. And
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, it's safe enough. Got to use the stack here for cover, which he's done. To see if there's anything anywhere, but there isn't. Well, that's going to sneak out. That's a bit too heavy, Larry. So there's the bait there for Rabih. And that's the cardinal sin that you cannot afford to do, is miss the pot. And Larry's just going to feast off these. I don't know whether he's got I don't think he's got anything on there, but he's got a cut into the side. He's got nothing exactly a gimme. Yeah, he's got the cut into the side, and he's overcut it. And Rabih's been reprieved. Now, this is where you need to knuckle down, Rabih. Shake yourself down and put some points on the board here, because there's no way you should be back at the table as early as this. I'll have a quick drink. You have missed my match last night. I didn't even know you were playing last night, Tommy. I'm going to have a quick drink. Hang on. What I don't remember is I don't remember a match on the schedule last night. I can't remember what was on. Who was you playing? Oh, aye. I presume you won then. Or you wouldn't be here to tell us. Well, Rabih's done it again. It's only 2 points. Well, that's a decent enough run. 75 and a 40 odd. That's going to take a match away from most players. Well, Rabih's finding out that straight pool isn't quite as simple. You know, pot any ball that you can. Not quite as simple. Rabih's had 3 or 4 visits and only accumulated 9 points. So he's now understanding it's a lot more demanding than what you think. If he didn't already know that, that is. Now, are those 2 balls set into the corner? No, they're far from it. They're nothing like it. But I mean, I think the biggest problem for the average player in Virtual Pool 4 is that they just, and this is what gets me off in a rant more often than not, is that they are not 100% thinking really about what they're doing. Because if they did, they'd be surprised to find that the game actually gets a bit better for you when you do really think about what you're doing. But then it comes down to the technical ability about the control of the cue ball and how you're going to move it and stuff like that. But I think you're halfway home if you actually really think about where you're going next. You've got to keep things simple. Well, I said that before the match started, Slim. Rabih's problem tonight is, well, Larry's easy to understand as an opponent when you're playing him. Larry's just going to go for everything, you know, and Larry's going into this match knowing that he's the favourite. So Larry's not going to turn down anything where there's a sniff. And for that matter, Rabih's problem is that Larry's going to take on shots. He's going to make the odd mistake. You're going to have an opportunity, and you've got to put a score when you do. And, you know, the evidence already suggests that this match is just going to run away from Rabih if he doesn't actually knuckle down and put something on the board. You know, even if he gets a 25 or a 30, you know, if he did something like that right now, if he got back to the table, he'd be back in it. You know, he only needs one good little turn and he's back in the match. But if he keeps making visits that are only a couple of balls, he's going to get nowhere, and he's going home. And of course, you can't spend all night saying, well, the balls didn't do this for me, the balls didn't do that. The whole art of it is actually manufacturing stuff and being able to be creative one way or another. And these balls are not sitting too badly. They're just a bit sort of, bit sort of clustered, not clustered, but they're a bit tight. Manoeuvring round about them's a wee bit fiddly. Now, if we look at the rack, we've got balls in the rack. We've got the 9 ball that could be used as a break ball. Now, again, if you were planning on that, then you've got an issue here with these 2 balls you need to get rid of. So, a bit like the last rack, I thought the 6 ball was sitting as good as anything as a break ball, and Larry immediately then goes round the corner and bumps it out the way. So goodness knows what the hell the break ball's going to be here. I mean, it could be the 15, but it could also be the 9. I think the 9 could be favourite. But, the 15 is by far the best one in terms of being an open space with not a lot of problems round about it. This one here, if you're going to work with that one, then it's a bit tight to try and get rid of them 2, and then you've got to get rid of the 14 also. So he could be thinking along those lines. And has he blocked himself on that ball on the side? Yes, he has. That bump in the 3 has just caused that problem there. Had he not bumped that, he'd have got rid of the 5 probably. So now he's already on to plan B or C here. Well, it's looking more likely that unless he drops for the 7 into this right-hand corner pocket. If he just babies this in, he might not be doing that, but it still looks more like the 15 ball is going to be the break ball. Yeah, too much angle to try and hold that. Now he's going to try and nudge his 15 ball out the way even further. So he's now nudged the break ball again. Knocked it further away from the rack. It can still be used, no problem. So now, if he's going to commit to that one, then he has to have an angle on this to get to these 2 balls here. Because they're nothing near set as a combo. And he'll be able to get rid of the 7. Now it might be up in the air as to what the break ball is going to be again. Now that he's on the 7, he can get rid of the 2 as well if he wants. And don't forget, I mean, that 2 and 7 ball were sitting there pretty much all the rack. And up until that point where Larry eventually got rid of the 7, it was anybody's guess as to what the break ball was going to be. And it looks like it's going to be the 15 ball then. Unless he's got to judge the pace in this. Because if he underhits it like that, he's in no man's land. That's no good. Everything was good up until that penultimate ball, and he's just having to duck for cover. But nevertheless, it's still, a 23 contribution, and he's already, 50 in front, and he's left Rabih nothing. Well, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be heading down into the long grass here. I'd be thinning that 8 ball, a feather's edge. Okay, might scratch, but that's not a disaster. It's a lot better doing that and leaving your opponent like this from a distance than it is to do something really stupid, nudge a ball into play. And again, you need to, as a player, every time your opponent plays something in and around that stack, you need to get down and have a look at the lie of the land before you commit, because you just never know what's actually been nudged into play. There might have been a combo nudged into line. Now, I think he can try and use the stack again here. Needs to go far enough. Well, the 6 does go, but I don't think there's a great deal of value in it. I mean, he's going to have to, if he's going to try and pot the 6, he's going to have to check this up to try and catch something here. Yeah, I mean, it was always odds on he was going to do that. I don't think he can get enough of the 8 ball. That looks too tight. Oh, he's on the 15 though. We might have to give this a bit of a slam to try and nudge something else out. No. Well, I think he tries to nudge back to get the 8 ball there, but he's back to square one. I don't think he's gone back far enough. No. I'm surprised he didn't actually slam that a bit harder and try and just nudge something else out. Or, for that matter, just go through and leave a ball either into the corner or that 12 into the side. So, he's back to square one. Well, for some reason, he's decided... I think he's called the 8 ball, but well, he has managed to squeeze it, and I didn't think he'd get enough of that. That's a good shot. Right, well, if he goes through far enough... Has he gone through far enough? Well, he's dead straight in the 9 pretty much. I mean, you could go round the corner and try and come into them. He's got left English on it to whip this cue ball around. He needs to watch he doesn't whip it around too far. Yeah, he could have missed them all there. Oh, no, again, that looks tight. Well, you take your medicine, you pot the 5 and leave yourself on the 7 or the 3. That's improved him a wee bit. Now he's got a blocker, and that can easily be dealt with. Play the little combo. And let's see if Larry can keep a break ball in place without nudging it anymore. That 10 ball is sitting prime as a break ball. So again, I would assume he's avoiding that at all costs. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it all unfolds. Oh, he's trying to come into the middle of these two. Now he's going to be hampered.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
Right, break ball's in position. All looks good at the moment. But it doesn't look good if you're Rabih. I don't know whether he tried to run into that one ball just to sort of control the cue ball a wee bit better. Again, he's not absolutely plumb, but I mean, he can go straight off that short rail. It's all about judging the pace because he needs to create that angle. And he's going 2 rails and he's going to go too far and too straight, is he? Yeah, he's gone too straight. I mean, he can get hit, but this is either going to die or something's going to pop out. It's hard to judge. You don't want to get too greedy, though. Try and pinch too much here. Well, that cue ball's come right off the rack. They've opened a lot better than I thought they would. He has got a shot. He's got a combo that he can play. He's obviously got the 4 into the side, but in all honesty, I think the combo is actually a better shot in terms of opening up that pocket and being able to clear that pocket. I mean, it's not a difficult combo. Well, he's taking the 1 instead. He's probably going to take the 15 now, maybe, but he could have taken that. The problem now is he's taking the 15, he's running into a ball, and you just don't know exactly what's happening. Well, he's on the 12 by accident. And he can also clear the other ball at the back of the rack there, that 14. He's gone too straight in it. Got a slight angle. And he could come into them, but again, he doesn't necessarily need to. He could play the 6 ball from the top side and bump those balls into play a bit better. And now, well, the 8 ball, again, is just a wee bit straighter than he would have liked. He's got the top on it to run through. Now, has he still got a shot? He's got the 5 into the side. He can get to the 13 as well. So we've got those 2 balls in the middle of the table. Now we're looking around to see where a break ball is. And not really anything obvious there. They're all dead. And the 6 balls at the way beyond the back of the rack. So it's going to be hard work to keep this one going. You know, Larry's not doing anything spectacular here. He's not putting big runs together, but what he is doing, you know, 20 odds each time, and you take the match away for your opponent, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, he done his best there to scratch. Well, he's now got the ball on the short rail. And, well, again, I would have thought he would have kept the 6 ball there to get himself guaranteed good on the 3 to play the break shot off the back of the rack. Now I'm confused again. And the reason I say that is I think that ball is just potted was a lot easier to leave a shot on this 3 for the break shot. So Larry's doing it his way, but it's got me bamboozled. Looks as if he's going 4 into the side and then off the long rail into the side of the rack here. Then that's the only other thing I can think he's going to do. But goodness knows why Larry thought he had to get rid of the 3 ball there. He got rid of the 6 ball, which was the ball that could get him to that 3 ball to play the break shot from the back of the pack. Well, I mean, he can cut it. He might catch the corner of the rack here off these two rails. I don't know, he might have to check this with a bit of right to actually create the angle to make sure he does hit the pack. It's hard to judge. No, he's came in at the right-hand side. The cue ball's gone loose, trying to scratch. Has he got a ball, though? Well, he's got nothing 100% guaranteed, but he does have a 15 ball into the top corner. I don't know that he can see enough of the 9. Maybe he can, but he has got a bailout. And now he's good to go again. One quick look as well. The 13 ball at the back of that cluster there is the one that opens things up. Again, it's acting as a blocker for the ball that side. And once they're out of the way, those two balls get clear. You can certainly get rid of the 2. The 2 is blocking the 7 for that pocket. But then again, none of these are any good as break balls. The 11 might be it. The 3 might be it. But judging by what Larry's done in the last rack, I've got no idea. So anybody that's just joined us, there is another match on tonight, and that's Real Poland Power Stub against Interchange X. And that goes ahead at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 British Summer Time. And that will be, the live stream for that will be on Slim's channel on Twitch. So you can join Slim later on for that. Well, these balls couldn't be spread any better. Again, it's just all about cue ball. Well, look, obviously the 3 ball isn't the one for the break shot because he's contemplating get rid of it. I thought he was for a second there. He's looking at the 3 ball for the second time. Now he's thinking about maybe leaving the 3 ball for the break shot. Or is he? See that that 11 ball's are way above the rack. The 7 balls in the rack, 10 balls in the rack. The only one that's near is the 3 ball. He could be using the 9 ball from the long rail on the side, cue ball in the middle of the table, cut the 9, run into the rack that way. And that's the only 2 choices I can see. Well, that's now created a problem that he needs to deal with immediately because obviously they're blocking one another, but he can get rid of one of them into the side. The good news is that, well, the 10 ball's above the rack as well. I thought it was going to act as a break ball. I mean, it could be a perfect break ball if you roll the 9 down into the corner pocket and leave the cue ball here to cut the 10 into the side pocket and get a break shot that way. So there's a third alternative there for Larry. And that's not a bad option, I don't think. He could very well do that. I mean, he's in an ideal position that he can actually play that shot if he wants. And the cue ball has gone south. Would you believe it? It's just always going to happen. So Larry's run ends in 39. He loses a point for the scratch. And I think Rabih's fallen asleep, has he? You know, this is what players do when their opponent's on a run. They disappear away from the PC. Oh, he's woke up. Now, Rabih's just let that cue ball run through there. And I don't really know what his intention was in doing that. Let's see. Well, remember, this is right above the park. It's miles above it. So the only way to get into this is left English like he's doing, slam it and stun it and go around the corner 2 rails into the back of it. You got to slam this good and proper to get the cue ball to go that way quickly. You've got to slam this big time. Yeah, he didn't execute it very well. In fact, he didn't hit it hard enough. You know, to me, you had to slam that and get the stun really quickly to get around the angles and get into that pack there. And Larry's going to try the side break. So again, poor Rabih comes to the table, and that's only about his 4th or 5th visit of the match. And again, he's only accumulated 2 points. And Larry's not going to get an awful lot more out of this because that solid rack just takes all the power out of the cue ball. You need an awful lot of momentum to go through those balls. Now, Larry's not giving a lot away as far as what Rabih's getting in return. He's had those visits, but not been really making the opportunity at all. That's how tough it is. 8-ball straight pull suddenly becomes really tough when you've had 4 or 5 visits and you can't score, and your opponent's, well, running away from you. Well, this will do some damage. Could have done with being off the rail a wee bit, but he's went right through the middle. Look at that. It's like the pattern of the Red Sea. You've now got 2 separate clusters. But he gets on that 5-ball, he can open this part up. If he gets them out of the way, he can play the 1-ball and do damage there as well. So, I mean, there's a potential to change that situation very rapidly. And if my memory serves me correctly, and I can't remember who he was playing, but I think Rabih had the same problem in his first match. He just could not get any scores at all. So Larry now 48 points away from surviving another round. He's not sitting too good here, but he's got a bailout ball. And once again, the table is pretty ugly as far as break shots go. But again, there are 2 balls left and right side on the long rail that you might be able to use. And that one's in the rack, so that's no good. You could use the 10-ball again. You could use the 15 to get to the 10-ball as a break shot for the back of the rack. So there's opportunities here to keep this going. No doubt about that. I think my plan after this match is done, is to go and get an injection of caffeine, maybe 1 or 2 injections of caffeine, and try and stay awake to catch some of this match later on with Stubb and Interchange X. That's provided Stubb can get into the lobby. Well, Rabih.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Maybe it's a bit late for that, but never give up. It is a long, long road back. In fact, this would be a miracle victory if Rabih got back to the table and actually put a score together. Well, we're going for the side rail break. And he's missed him completely. I suppose that's a bit of a relief for Rabih. Larry is on Nelson, as they say in cricket, 111. Again, a feather edge on this 13. And now Larry should be heading to the long grass here because he's got an open invitation to get right up table and leave this at distance. Now, this is exactly what you should be doing. That's too heavy. Again, you've got to get the pace right. You get the pace right, you nail that cue ball onto the short rail. I mean, it's still a good enough shot that Rabih's at distance here, and if he's not careful, he can hit this ball too thick and bring something into play. That's a good shot if it's got the legs. I needed another foot of running and it would have been very good. This looks better. That's excellent. That's exactly what you want to do. That's a very good safety shot, perfect length. And of course, the opponent can only get to the top of the cue ball. And that makes this next shot very difficult. See, too thick. You know, when you look at, I mean, if you look at the ball that you're going to hit, the first thing you do is go down and look at what it's lined up to nudge out. And he's nudged out the 5. Okay, he's nudged it out fairly straight, but Larry can drop through for the 11. There's a line of balls here that need some damage done. Well, Larry's trying to do it straight away. It might have been better to play on the 11 because now he's not got anything. He's got a dodgy 12 ball. Take your pick. But he's got nothing very inviting here. I think he made the wrong move at the wrong too soon there. He could have gone through and played on the 3 and broke those balls open from there. But anyway, he's got a dodgy cut on this 12 ball. If he takes it to the top right as we look, he'll be on the 7. Yeah, but leaving these awkward angles. So, for once, Larry's visit is just 1 ball. Again, he's not left Rabih plumb on anything. The 7 ball is the shot, and the cue ball would be coming around the corner. I mean, he can cut the 12 in, but he's got to get across for this 7 because there's nothing else there. And he might be better just to nursemaid this into the pocket and just drop through. Well, now he's got an angle. So now he can try and break some of these out. He needs to give it a good wham. to get into these line of balls here. Cue balls come right through them. And that's broken very nicely. Well, is Rabih going to get to double figures in terms of a visit? Because I don't think he has done yet. Now, once again, he has to get that picture in his head of where he's going before he starts overcommitting too soon. So, looking at the table, the first thing you got to look for is what might be a break ball. Well, there's nothing really obvious again. It could be a 2-ball off the side rail with the cue ball into the pack. It could be a 3-ball at the back of the pack. And where he's put the cue ball again is sort of getting hard to judge what exactly he's playing for here. Is he going to get rid of the ball into the side pocket? Yeah, all of those balls are no good. They're in the rack. But again, either of those balls are good to get on this 3-ball. It would have been probably better if the 3-ball was closer to the rail or closer to the pack. It's sort of in the, in the sort of no man's land area. If he's going to try and use that, it could be that he's going to leave the 13 again. We're just guessing as to what he's up to here. And now he's decided to come back the way again. I'm questioning as to why he's leaving that there. Is he leaving that there to get to the side rail break shot? Well, that 9-ball sat there all rack as far as I can remember. And I don't know whether he's in the right angle in this. He's going to have to do something with the cue ball here to go into that 9-ball. I mean, he can run through, but he needs to run through far enough. He's played the big stun. The problem with the big stun is he's the wrong side here. The cue ball's coming that way, and he's going to be further away from the object ball. And that's not a good angle. He needed a lot more than that. He needed to be over here to get a good solid hit and get the cue ball running in. So again, I'm not 100% certain that Rabih was 100% sure exactly where he was going there towards the end of that sequence of balls. And the best thing that's happened there is he hasn't hit the rack. So he can go away with his highest visit of the match, 13, and duck for cover. But again, a poor safety. I mean, you've got to get a feather edge here, Rabih. You cannot hit them thick like that. What does that say there? What did I miss? Oh, it's semi-pro. Oh, that's good. That's good that you're telling us you're not here to cause any trouble. I'm relieved at that. Well, you're here to watch a bloodbath at the end of it, let's be honest. Because that's what this is turning out to be. Rabih's gone hell for leather. And, well, Larry's got a chance to feast again. I think I think Larry's highest run of the match so far is about 40-something. I think it was 40-something. Nothing spectacular, but he's had 20 odds and 20 odds and just pulled away, which is all he really needs to do. I mean, Rabih's not finding the patterns and, more importantly, the scoring to cause any threat. But what Rabih needs to do is watch these other guys later in the tournament and watch how they go about it and see how they pick their way through when they've spotted that break ball and committed to it early on, and that's how they're going to work their way around it unless something untowards happens. You know, I'm looking at this table right now. Larry's a bit unpredictable as well, because Larry does things not exactly 100% obvious to me all the time, but, you know, Larry has always done things his way. But right now, the 4 ball's the ball, you know, or it could be the 1 or the 3, but obviously there's a problem with them covering one another and getting in the way. So if you're committed to this ball right now, then you have to worry about how you're dealing with this setup here. And that's always going to be awkward to get to simply because of the 5 ball when there. Yes, you'd play a ball into the side pocket, get one of them out of the way, or go up top and play one down into the corner. And I'm not sure whether Larry was trying to do that right there, but he hasn't got there. So now he's going to have to go to plan B or C already. I think his idea was maybe getting rid of one of them and hasn't got there. So now he's going to have to try and work it out again and running out of balls again to do it. And that now he's going to actually, well, I was about to say he's about to put what I thought was going to be the break ball. He's maybe taking the 9 down the rail and trying to get the bump. And that's all he needed to do. Now he needs to still have a follow-up shot, which is not exactly a gimme. He's got a dodgy cutback again. He had a similar cutback like this earlier on in the match and missed that. He's got a cut up the rail. This actually is probably the easier shot. So now we are sort of odds on that it's going to be the 4 ball. And he'll probably do this just to annoy me and take the 3 instead as the break shot. Well, he is going to leave the 3. Now, again, with this shot, he can go forward and come up into the table. Well, he looks as if he's going 2 rails again. No, he is going forward. He hasn't hit it again. See, I think he's checked it in the rail, and that's killed the pace in the ball. He wanted to be up here. He's a 1.5 foot short of where he wanted to be. Now he's going to have to go loads of right English. Got a hit, and he's got a ball. In fact, he's got 2. 14 as well. In fact, he might have a combo straight away there. That's a bit ambitious, but I think that combo's set because that 1 ball is going on to the 11 or the 13, whatever the hell ball it is. That looks set. But do you want to be crazy enough to have a go at that right now? If you were down here? I think he's 2 straight in the 7. He's got a slight angle, but not a lot to work with. Now, he could try and run up to there. Well, maybe not. No, that ball's blocked by the 4. I never noticed that. The 4 ball's a blocker. Now there's a problem. Because look at where the cue ball wants to go. Well, he's maybe looked at this combo. I think he thinks commentator's eyes got this right. I think it's on. I do think it's on. Look at the way the 2 and the 1 are lined up to hit that and make that combo. Is Larry going for the 11 instead? Oh, he's bottled out. I think he done the right thing, though. I think he done the right thing, though. I think I was getting a bit crazy. Well, anyway, now he's done that, where the hell's the break ball? Again, it could be the 9 off the side rail, because the 9 ball looks to be sitting in a reasonably good position to get a solid hit onto that side of the rack. He's obviously got this mess here it needs dealing with. So we'll let him get on with it. I'll have a quick drink. I muted myself to take a drink and I forgot all about it. But you didn't miss much anyway. I was just ranting. I was ranting about that one ball in the side there as a break ball and how Rabih could not see it. It was like laid out in a plate for him. And he had that that penultimate ball that was sort of there. There's the 3 ball that was the break ball, for example, and he didn't spot it. You know, you play that ball past there, you hold inside slightly, and then you get, I think the 3 ball was sort of more there. And then you leave yourself pretty much perfect on it from maybe slightly inside, slam that in, stun big into the pack, and you can continue your break. And they totally bypassed it altogether. And then, of course, at the end of it, he ended up getting 2 straight and didn't have a shot. And it just sets me off in a rant each time that players don't spot some of the most obvious shots on the table. And Larry, slowly but surely, is going to get there. Well, welcome to Napnicker anyway. At least he's paying attention. I muted myself to have a drink and then I forgot all about it, as I usually do. But of course, remember what Bob says.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
There you go. Never a truer word spoken. Well, they're all there. They've all got a pocket as far as I can see. There's a slight problem here. Yeah, there's a slight problem there. The other problem is, again, I don't see the obvious break shot. It could be from the back of the pack. That's right in the centre diamond, pretty much, that 10 ball. And again, there's still that issue to deal with. Well, the 10 ball's about to go, maybe. Oh, well, commentators curse. Larry can't get it in the hole. The visit ends in 4, and up comes Rabih again. So Larry's now moved what was one of the potential break balls. It's still a potential break ball. Again, if you've managed to keep that there for the rest of the rack, now it's probably a slim chance that's going to be the case, but that would be the easiest break ball in terms of, where you have to put the cue ball. Along the rail, you obviously want to get rid of the 5, but you could slam that in and come into the rack that way. It's not the best ideal shot, but, when you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, you'll take anything. But Rabih's now been left by Larry to deal with this situation here with those 2 balls. Well, he's going to get rid of the 10 ball right now, I think. He's playing the combo. Well, those 2 balls have gone in. He's finished top side of the 6. That's a wee bit more of a testy cut for him. And you might have to dig in a wee bit to make sure you catch that ball there to open them up. And he's missed the 6. That's as quick as he could play the shot to get it over with. He didn't want to contemplate the doom and gloom of actually missing it. So it's as quick as he could have a bang at it and get it done with. And there goes the visit again, ending at 4. And meanwhile, he might have actually put a break ball into play there. No, he hasn't. It's right into the corner of the rack. 14's at the corner, but outside the rack. But, you probably hit something on it. So this is probably, or that was probably Rabih's last shot, because I think Larry will have a good chance of getting into this final rack that he needs to seal the deal. Well, once again, a reminder to those of you watching that we have the match later on at 11:30 British Summer Time. We've got Real Poland Power Stubb up against Interchange X, and Slim will be streaming that while I'm trying to keep awake watching it. So he's going for the side break. Again, he could have done with, but see, there's a better angle the way I think it is. This is just a wee bit shallower, but we'll see how he does. He's got a hit, got a bonus ball, got a shot, and I think it's Arnie time, folks.
Hasta la vista, baby.
He needs 7 balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's 6 out in the open, so he's maybe still going to need a nudge here. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 if you include that one. Well, he's done damage there, so Larry's going for the jugular. Who missed what? Oh, he has missed it. Did he miss the pot? See, this is what happens at this time of night. I start falling asleep. My bad. It's past my bedtime. Listen to what Bob tells you.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Anyway, fair play to Rabih. He's smashed them open. He's just going to go for it. And why not? Let's give him a target of 50. See if we can get to 50. Ah, so that's where Romario's been hanging out. He kept that quiet, so he did. He kept that very quiet. The cat's out the bag now, Romario. You've been ducking and diving over on the dark side. Oh, yeah, playing the occasional game there, so he does. I never told anybody, though. Kept it quiet. Well, there's one more online. I'm going to wind him up before the night's out if he's still in the lobby. Has he? Because he's ignoring. He's ignored any proposals that Cobra sent him, and I said he's still going to bail out. We'll see whether he proves me wrong. Aye. That email that I sent to Romario, where are you, Romario? You still alive? He didn't tell me. I am still alive. I'm over in Shooter's Pool. I've been here for 2 years. That's where he disappeared to. Kept that quiet. Right, so... Well, it's definitely Rabih still at the table. I'm paying attention this time. We've got 3 balls here, any of which could be a break ball if you're desperate enough, bear in mind the mess that we've got down here. So there's nothing doing down here. So if you're Rabih, then you would think, go up here and deal with this slot, and then get down and get onto that ball to leave the 4 as a break ball, leave the high cut, short rail into the back of the rack. So you play that ball there, roll through, get rid of that one, get rid of that. And now, see, now he's clearing balls up that end, and that was the one ball that could have got him good on this potential break ball. And that's stuff like that puzzles me. This has now become a lot harder again, simply because he didn't leave the adjacent ball there to get to this ball as a break ball. I mean, we're talking basics here. And, you know, basics of all basics, when it's laid out on a plate for you, there's your penultimate ball, leave yourself high on that ball, cut it, go to the rail into the pack, there's your break shot. This is in the middle of no man's land, this idea. So you've really got to knuckle down and get yourself a semblance of a shot when it's there and you spot it and you play for it. Has he got away with it, though? He might have. Larry's going to get crazy. He's going for some dodgy cut into the side pocket. Yeah. Well, I can tell you how I go about shooter's pool. Every so often I boot it up. I go into the, well, what isn't a lobby anymore. It's not a chat lobby. That's been shut down. So there's no communication whatsoever in it. There's no forum anymore, so you can't read anything about any updates in it. And I go in and that's it. I just go in and look around and count how many are actually in the game and say, well, we could do with 100 odd of them in our lobby and go out and shut it down. So I gave Rabih a target of 50. He's 1 away from it. There we go. Well, there's the break ball there to smash these open. Got to get ripped right into that one. Well, they've broken nicely. Now, once again, I'm talking as a non-straight pool player, right? That's where you've got to understand. I mean, I've only played what I don't know. I think long ago when we did some testing, I think I played some straight pool. I think my highest run, my one visit I had was about 33 or something. And I've never been near it since. But as a non-straight pool player, I'm looking for where my break ball is right now, and I'm thinking, well, you know, the one ball's quite high in the rack, but it's probably as good as anything. It could possibly be the 13 for a side rail break. It's unlikely that I'm going to create a break ball the way these are spread apart. So there's a commitment to either this or maybe that as the break ball. And if that's the case, then there's the problem, that there. So you have to commit one way or another. Get rid of that. Get rid of the 7. If you're keeping the 1, then you're staying inside the 1, and there's your break shot. That's my train of thought. I'm thinking about committing to that and getting rid of this so I can get rid of that. These will take care of themselves if I'm dealing with that down the rail. So first and foremost, I'm getting rid of this crap here. Get that into the side, get up for the 6 into the side, maybe come to the rail, get rid of that. But I'm going to have to try and do something to keep something as a break shot. I just question as to whether Rabih has got anything like that in mind. Well, he's getting rid of the first ball I said to get rid of. Now, how high is that? See, that's right at the top of the rack, that one ball. But it's as good a ball as anything to have some sort of break shot. But now you've got to think about getting rid of the 7. I mean, if you want the best ball to try and get to the 1, it would be that. But you know what Steve goes on about? You have to get good on this 6 ball to make it easy. If you were straight on in the 6, you could roll through, leave yourself there in the 1, and you've got a break shot. And he still hasn't got to that ball yet. So he's got to commit 100% one way or the other here. You see, that's no good, because he's sort of left himself again in no man's land, and he's leaving himself more work to try and do with the cue ball and control the cue ball He's got rid of the ball. Well, it was really the only one he had a half-decent shot on. So now he's got to try and get there now. He could go forward, go to the short rail and come up. He could stun across. He's got to bang this in, though. Well, that needs to keep going that way. Well, it's a bit further away, but again, he doesn't need to blast this. He's got a shot. I don't think he needs to blast it, though. Well, he's missed the cut again, but he's hit them solid enough and broken them out. And Larry is definitely back at the table. He still needs 8 to get to the finish line, and they're all there. Well, good evening to Albinari. You won't be here long. I'm still of the opinion that this tournament should go back to the normal pockets for the next one. I think it just encourages that bit better scoring, and you know, puts the pressure on the opponents a bit more as well, knowing that the scoring's a wee bit easier. Yes, it should. Well, you're a perfect example of that, Romario. You definitely need the normal pockets, because you couldn't bloody score for shit in the matches I've seen you in. There, I've said it. I told you like it is. Yeah, well, it's maybe boring for somebody like you, Albie, who doesn't miss a shot, but I'm talking about the poor numpties like Romario and myself and others that I won't name, where it's that bit tougher. Bear in mind, I don't even play it. I'm just on the sidelines casting my opinions. Anyway, Larry's almost home. And it definitely is.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So Larry's probably, I'm guessing that might be the last of Larry's sort of comfortable wins. We'll have a quick look and see how that shapes up. He might have a little while to wait to get an opponent. I think he might be waiting on a loser coming over from that winner's side. So Larry goes through 150 points to 62. Rabih got his 50. He got to 62. So I gave him that target to get there. Quick refresh. Remember that we have the match between Stubb and Interchange X coming up on Slim's Twitch channel. If you've never been to it, you just go to Twitch, type in the search window up top, One Pocket Slim, you'll find his channel. And then, of course, you subscribe to it. And that will save you having to look for it the next time you come back. But Slim will be covering that match. So that goes in about, what time is it? 2.25 hours time. It's 9:15 here, British summer time. So it goes off at 11:30 or 6:30 Eastern time. And I am off for some coffees and that to try and stay awake to watch it. But in the meantime, we'll have a quick look at the bracket. If we go top to bottom, we will see. I need to get out a chair to see what I'm doing here. We've got Acero through to round 4 in the top half, and he's now playing Albie. If we go further down, we've got Matt, who come through that crazy match last night with Spectre Dawn. Go and watch the last half hour if you missed it. Just go and watch it on my channel and watch the last half hour or so, because that's where all the fun and games is. Then further down, we've got Cobra in round 3, supposedly playing 1. Well, that ain't going to happen. I'm telling you that now. It's not happening. I'll be very surprised. Maybe he might accept the proposal just to spite me, because if he's in the lobby, I'm about to wind him up. But that's the prospective match there, and it's 100% likely that Cobra's going to go through to face Matt, so that should be another cracker in round 4. On this one-loss side, well, Larry's sitting there high and dry. He is waiting on the loser coming through. The bad news for Larry is that he's waiting on, or it might be good news, in fact. Larry might be getting a walkover in the next round, because the chances are he's going to be playing when the one-loss side in his next match. So Larry won't be complaining. He'll be quite happy at that. We've got Tommy, who now plays Spectre Dawn. Tommy was playing Preacher last night, and Tommy's had a fairly comfortable win there, 150 to 24. Tommy said he had a 70-odd run and a 40-odd run, which is good prospects for his future survival. I'll say that again, future survival in the tournament. I think I need a coffee. And then further up, we have the match between Stubb and Interchange X. The interesting thing there is that German Potting Machine bottled out his match on the winner's side. Can't remember who he was due to play, but he didn't show up for it. And I don't know whether he'll show up for the next match either, because he plays the winner of the Stubb Interchange X match. Further up from that, we have Softbreak and Bankster, who are due to go at 4 p.m. on Friday afternoon, my time. And the winner of that will play Silent but Deadly in the next round. So that's it, folks. So don't forget, I'll be back and jumping into Slim's channel to watch that match with Stubb and Interchange X, and I hope you can join us. If not, and you want to see that match, you'll get it on Slim's channel for the next few days, so you can catch it if you miss it later on tonight. So thanks for watching. Hit the like if you can be bothered, and I will see you very soon. Yeah, you won't. I'll be very surprised if you play. Well, I'm going in to wind him up. What room's he in? Is he in a tournament room? Oh, hang on a minute. In fact, I'm going to do it now while I'm on the stream, just for a laugh, and that way we'll see if we get a response. He's in Softbreak's room. I'm going to wind him up right now. Hang on. We'll find out if he understands English or if he pretends he doesn't in a second or two. Where the hell is he? Is he in that room there? Hang on. Did I go into the right room? I'm not sure whether I did or I didn't, but I'm about to. I'm going to wind him up. Mind you, he's got to be able to read what I'm typing. I can't type. Get this bloody keyboard to work. Check your proposals. I definitely need to get a proper working spacebar. Let's see what he says, or if he just pretends he can't understand my English. Well, he won't be able to understand that. Right. Cobra proposed me hour difficult. Right, that means he isn't going to play. There's your answer there. The hour's difficult. He can't make it. Right, I'm off. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching.
machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else.
Good night, ladies.